Okay guys, so here we have a root inside of a root question, and the thing I like to do first is convert the roots into powers, so it's easier to do power rule and chain rule. So I'm going to go ahead and convert all the roots into an exponent. Okay guys, so these two mean the same thing, right? The power to a half is the same as the square root of a number, okay? So I just turned the roots into power of half, and now the first thing we're going to do is use power rule and bring down this first power. So I already explained in a video how we use power rule, so I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but we bring this power down and multiply it by the function, and then minus the power by 1. And when you minus it by 1, you are of course going to need common denominators, so you're going to do this. And you're going to get negative half as your new power. So I'm going to rewrite it so it's easier to understand. Okay guys, so here is the first step complete. We did power rule and we decreased the power by 1, okay? Now the next step is chain rule. So the chain rule, basically, you're just going to take the derivative of everything inside the power, okay? Even this term. So when you take the derivative of the inside term, the derivative of x is 1, and sorry, I can't write with my left hand, so I'll just explain it. The derivative of x is 1, so we're just going to multiply this by 1 plus the derivative of this term. We use power rule again, bring down the power, half x squared plus 1 to the power of negative half minus the power by 1. And again, you do chain rule one more time because inside you can also bring this power down by using power rule. Okay, I'm going to write it so it's easier to understand. Okay, guys, as I said, you take the derivative of the inside term. Okay, you're taking the derivative of the inside term, and here you have x turns into 1, 1 plus the power rule of this term, half x squared plus 1 negative half. Remember to decrease the power by 1, okay? And now you're going to take the derivative of the inside one more time and multiply it here. So the derivative of x squared plus 1 is just 2x because we know that a constant turns into 0. So this is going to be 2x. Now close the bracket. And that is our derivative of the whole thing. Sorry, I should put y dash. Okay, now the next step is just to cancel the like terms. Like here we can cancel this 2. And nothing can be canceled on these sides. So we're going to turn the negative half powers into roots. And when there's a negative power, what you're going to do is bring it into the denominator and then put the square roots. So I'm going to put that and I'm going to show you. Okay guys, so here I just turned the powers into roots, and whatever power was negative, I brought it down. Okay, so first we have half, and then this term. You can see the 2 is in the denominator, so you're going to bring that down with the term that has the negative power. So it's going to be 2 times root, the big root x plus x squared plus 1. There's also a root inside of here, that's why there is a root inside this root as well. Okay, here the 2's cancel out, so there's not going to be a 2 in the denominator. Instead, now just x is going to be in the numerator because we canceled the denominators out. And I brought the negative power down and I square rooted the bottom. And 1 is just a constant, so we're going to leave that as it is. Okay, so that is our derivative of this function. Okay, so if you have any questions, leave it in the comments because this question is quite confusing, so I can explain it again. And we're going to do one more question similar to this. Okay guys, so here is our second question. And in this question, we're going to solve it the exact same way we did before for the square root question. In this, the first step, of course, is turn the roots into a power. This is a cube root, but it's not going to change anything. So you're just going to raise this term to the power of 1 over 3. Okay, I'm going to write this in terms of powers. Okay guys, so I wrote this in the terms of powers. Now we're going to apply chain rule first. Just like we did in the previous question, take this 20, bring it down, multiply it by the function, and the power minus it by 1. So our new power is going to be 19. Okay, and then after doing the power rule, we're going to take the chain rule of whatever is inside. Okay, I'm gonna write the power rule first and then we'll take the chain rule. Okay guys, so here I just put the power rule and then I took chain rule of whatever was inside of this term. Okay, so let's start from the start. The derivative of just t is 1. Okay, the derivative of this term, t plus t squared to the power of 1 over 3, we use power rule for this and we get 1 over 3 t plus t squared to the power of negative 2 over 3. Negative 2 over 3 because we're minusing this power by 1, just like it's like normal power rule. And when you minus this by 1, you need common denominators, so it's going to be 1 over 3 minus 3 over 3, and you're going to get negative 2 over 3 as your new power. Okay, now that you took the power rule of this whole thing, now you have to take the chain rule one more time of everything inside of the negative 2 over 3 power. So when you take the derivative of whatever's inside, you get the derivative of t, which is just 1, and then you get the derivative of t squared, which is just 2t. Okay, so that is the chain rule and power rule all done, and now you have all of your terms. Now the only thing left to do is cancel the like terms and turn the negative powers into the denominator. So can you tell me if we can cancel out any terms? No, right? You can't cancel any like terms because here it's a 3 and here it's 2t, like nothing will cancel out. So we're just going to directly put this into the denominator since it's to the power of negative 2. And since the 3 is in the denominator of this fraction, it's also going to come in the denominator with t plus t squared. Okay, so I'm going to write it and explain. Okay guys, so here I brought everything that was negative with a negative power into the denominator. T plus t squared to the power of negative 3 is brought into the denominator, and 3 from 1 over 3 is already in the denominator, so it comes down with the t plus t squared. Okay, and nothing here, it was to a negative power, so we keep that at the top. And now the last step is because we have the cube roots and like these powers, we're going to turn them into roots, which should be pretty easy. I'm going to write it out. Okay guys, so I just kept everything the same except turned the powers into roots. So this is cube rooted, you put the cube root here, and this is a cube root essentially, but you just square whatever's inside because of the 2 in the numerator. So t plus 2, t plus t squared to the power of 2, and then cube root that whole thing. Okay, so that is your final derivative answer. That's your derivative of this function. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. Sorry, I've been very busy with school and like university applications since it's my last year. So, yeah, that's all for today. If you guys have any topics you need, please leave them in the comments and I can do them in my next video. Bye.